Principles of public speaking based on research. The first principle is called the halo effect. The experiment on which it is based and the experiment which is illustrative of it is there were two ladies whose photographs were taken. One was very well dressed and the other one was very shabbily dressed. There were essays which the ladies had written which were attached to the photographs and they were given to two groups of students. Each group had to rate the lady's attributes. That is, they had to say what kind of a lady they thought she was. More positive attributes were given to the well-dressed lady rather than to the badly dressed one, even though the essays were identical. So that is the critical thing. The essays were making no difference. It was the lady's external attributes which was being taken to rate her. So the principle which is called the halo effect means we are ready to forgive better dressed people even when they are failing. This can be utilized in public speaking very easily. I'm not saying that we should have any kind of failure in public speaking, but when we are in a public interaction, at that point of time, we should be going in for at least a presentable us. The second principle is the principle of body language and it's called the 4 times principle. We believe body language 4 times as much as we believe what the other person is saying. That is, if you have to listen to my content and you have to watch my body language, what is it that you'll believe more? You'll believe my body language much more. So body language is really important and has to be paid attention to. Another corollary of this is the 7-second principle. In 7 seconds, we judge whether a person is trustworthy, submissive, and likable. All 3 attributes will be utilitarian for us if we are going for some kind of public speaking assignment. Then there is an oft repeated experiment by Albert Mehrabian from the University of California, LA. This experiment is supposedly it shows that body language is the most important factor in public speaking. But this has to be taken with a pinch of salt because this experiment was done in a different context. So it just says that the content of what we are saying is only 7%. It's important to the degree of 7%. That's not true. That's not true at all. And that is what we have to take into account. Then we have a theory by Amy Cuddy, which is called fake it till you make it. This theory again has been misunderstood many a time. Amy Cuddy is not saying that you fake body language till you actually get confident. What she's trying to say is hide the negative attributes which go with public speaking and which might evoke some kind of negative reactions from the public. So fake it till you make it has to be taken again with a pinch of salt. It has to be understood in the right context. And Amy Cuddy, as a psychologist, she's an American psychologist and author from Princeton University. Then we have principles on handshakes, which are of no use today, so they really need not be discussed. But there are other principles of body language which still carry weight even when we are making virtual presentations. When we are standing, if we stand in a relaxed and open manner, with the legs uncrossed, arms held away from the body. Now, what I'm trying to say is this is one of the negative body language tactics which we unknowingly adopt and which cut off the audience from us. So the next time a speaker crosses his or her arms in front of you, rest assured that there is some factor which is not that conducive to the message he or she is trying to convey. Then we come to other kinds of research. There is something called, again, body language, but it's based on Vanessa Van Edwards' Human Lie Detection and Body Language book. So all what I'm sharing with you is based either on research or on theory which I have picked up from known authors. Now, Vanessa Van Edwards says she tried to differentiate leaders from non-leaders. So this experiment was done in the Western context. So we have to adapt it to the Indian context and try to wean out and glean out things which we can apply to our context. For example, she said leaders smile less, they interrupt, they have more eye contact when they are speaking to you, but when you are speaking to them, they have less eye contact. When they are speaking, they don't nod too much and they hold their head still as they speak. Now, these are principles which we can utilize when we are doing info public speaking, though I don't know how well interruption will be taken in the Indian context. So again, research which has been done in the West has to be adapted to our context. Brutal honesty. This was an experiment which was done by Dr. Marlene Caroselli, who is an author in New York. The boss called somebody, one of his employees, at 7 p.m. on a Friday night. The employee asked, "How did you know I would be here?" The answer was, "You're always here." The other managers get their work done in a 40-hour week. "You are doing something wrong," was his assessment. Now, why am I linking this with public speaking? I'm linking this with public speaking because I'm trying to say that in public speaking, brutal honesty is something which might not stand us in very good stead. The same thing could have been said in a slightly diplomatic way, which would have got the message across, but which would not have harmed anybody. There are lots of other experiments which I will be narrating in other recordings which I make. I'd just like to add one principle here. It's called the 10,000 hours principle by Malcolm Gladwell. He says, if you do anything for 10,000 hours, you are bound to become an expert. Now, what do we understand from this? All we understand is that in public speaking, practice is of immense importance because anything we do can become something very, very expert to us, very, very internalized to us if we practice it long enough. Now, 10,000 is a mere figure. One doesn't take that as the bottom line. One just takes it to mean that put in the maximum that you can in terms of practice. Now, every principle I've outlined to you here is utilitarian in public speaking. It might be something which we have known, but once you are sure that it's based on experimentation and it has been utilized in other countries, then it becomes more practical for us and we are more able to relate and use it in our public speaking and communication with other people. This is one of the few videos which I've recorded on public speaking principles. I'll be coming forth with more. If you like what I presented, please subscribe to my channel and tap the bell icon. Thank you.